ACTREX 2016, this is the 17th edition, and I'm excited because we have about 25 participating countries. We have about 400 odd exhibitors who've come from all over. There's another excitement for me because I have with me the managing director of NM Rothschild, Mr. Sanjay Bhandarkar. Welcome, Sanjay.
Thank you, Samir. Thank you for having me over.
Thank you. There are a lot of things happening in India, so I would like to pan out or reach out to Sanjay and ask him what's NM Rothschild about, what's his role and the works.
Thanks, Samir. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show. My name is Sanjay Bhandarkar. I'm Managing Director of Rothschilds in India. We are a global investment bank which focuses basically on corporate finance advisory services, primarily involved in encouraging strategic investors from overseas to come and invest in India and helping Indian companies to go out and acquire businesses overseas. We've been in India for the last 16 years. It's been an interesting journey. We've grown a lot. India has become much more global in its outlook in the last 15, 16 years and provides opportunities both for foreign investors to come in here and also for Indian investors to go out and kind of enhance their growth by capturing the global market. So that's what we focus on doing.
Sure, excellent. We hear a lot of things happening on the smart city front, and can you tell us something about how from an investment banker's perspective, how are things looking up?
So first of all, Samir, from the investment banking perspective, I think India has acquired renewed momentum after this new government was voted into power in the middle of 2014. This new government is very clearly, very strongly business oriented and very focused on growth and particularly on investments because, as anybody visiting India knows, India is a country that lacks infrastructure. There is a huge opportunity and a huge need to invest in infrastructure.
Correct.
Whether it be core infrastructure or the smart cities and kind of urban development that you spoke about.
Sure.
And this government is showing a lot of strong focus in kind of investing there. The union budget that's coming up on Monday should hopefully provide a further affirmation of the government's commitment on that side. So I think from the perspective of foreign investors, this is probably an exciting time to be in India. India is amongst the large economies, one of the fastest growing in the world. And I have a feeling that growth will only strengthen over time. So this is, to my mind, this is the best time to enter the market and to be able to capture and benefit from the growth that India is going to demonstrate, both on the investment side and on the consumption side.
Oh, awesome. Now, coming to a little bit to our what we are doing in India. We have been around, as you know, for about little over 12 years now. We've been doing projects in India, Middle East, United States. We've always been with Siemens for some time, some few years, and then we realized that the global trends are emerging. You need more open systems, interoperable systems. You had a first look at the booth, and can you share what your impressions have been?
It was as somebody who's not from the industry, but in some senses related to the industry. It was very interesting to come to your booth and get a perspective of the various partners that you have brought in the context of this booth. So just looking at Lindspring and what they are doing in terms of their interoperable systems, I thought that was very exciting and very interesting, particularly for larger projects where there are multiple systems and you need to ensure that all of them talk to each other.
Yes.
Also looking at Invertech, I guess they're with their kind of variable drives product, they are talking very clearly to the green economy and the need to kind of focus on energy efficiency.
Yes.
As you know, India is one of the highest kind of energy cost markets in the world.
Sure.
So apart from the environmental consciousness, there clearly is a very strong economic rationale for people to invest in products like this.
That's right.
Also it was interesting to see Neptronics and the range of products that they have in HVAC controls and actuators and valves. So I think all these products and all these businesses have a lot of potential here in India.
Okay, Sanjay, thanks so much for your response and your encouraging words. They mean a lot to us because we're trying to change the dynamics, the way things were and the things we want to unfold them to see. because a lot of things are already happening in the US, and in terms of Internet of Things, in terms of cyber security, in terms of data analytics, because any building has just too much of data coming in, but we don't know what to do with so much of data sometimes. So that's an interesting observation, and I'm glad that you brought out so many nice features about the booth. Sanjay, there's another role that I play is Control Trends. What we are trying to do is Control Trends India is a subsidiary of Control Trends US, which is a vehicle to promote, recognize, felicitate people, technologies, companies, and products. We are looking at typically getting being brand neutral here. We are trying to bring in a lot of talented companies from India and across the world be here. At the same time, a lot of American companies are trying to get into the market. They want to see what India's story is, what markets are unfolding. So that's another thing. The another thing that we thought of was to also develop skills, because there's a huge demand supply gap, which you will agree. So through Control Trends, we have training videos, and we would be rolling out a lot of them going forward. So what are your impressions? How do you see value proposition for Control Trends business?
Firstly, I must congratulate you on the initiative. I think it is a great initiative.
Thank you so much.
As I understand, this is the first such forum for the control industry, which in itself is a great thing.
Sure.
I think there is a need for a lot of the international knowledge that exists in places like the US to come to India as quickly as possible.
Yes.
To allow us to leapfrog technologies and kind of get to the cutting edge rather than go through an evolution.
Yes.
The other point you made about skill development is, I think, particularly valid in India, because one of the big challenges in India is how do we equip our youth for jobs, and jobs that are going to be relevant and valid for the next 20 years.
Absolutely.
Not the jobs of yesterday.
Absolutely.
And I think the kind of initiatives that you are showcasing with Control Trends should hopefully kind of allow a section of the youth to be able to get jobs in the kind of infrastructure growth that India has to offer.
Sure.
And ensure that they get good quality jobs which kind of make a material difference to their lives. So I think that's again a very good initiative, and I wish you all the best in terms of actually rolling this out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have to thank Sanjay for his words of experience, wisdom, and global travel. I mean, he is widely traveled. I know for sure Sanjay is 20 days, he's on a flight, and he's a very, very busy guy. And thank you so much, Sanjay, for being on the Control Trends show and sharing your thoughts. And thank you very much.
Thank you for having me over.
Thank you so much, Sanjay.